the men of culture, the manliest men of culture that you will ever manliest see.
Oh, are we starting now?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, geez. Wait. What was the topic again? I forgot. Wishlist. Yeah, that's right. Sparky, how are you doing? We're just
going to talk about... Oh, God.
How are you doing on this fine?
Also, are we special?
I mean, I'm a little...
It says the openings and the endings on Mal.
Mal?
Yeah. Like, it says it under the descriptions. So we spent, like... I mean, it wasn't that long, but we spent like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but we couldn't find them on Spotify. I couldn't find the ending on Spotify. That's what I said. I found them on YouTube like right away.
Yeah, it's definitely not on Spotify, but I'm just glad I got the opening because that was my more favorited one. But
yeah,
I didn't realize they did that. I'm already looking at some of the comments, and the comments are just hilarious. So, anyways, today we're gonna be going over our wish list for 2021. Because this will be the last time we record the podcast, obviously, before the year is over.
No, this is the final episode, episode 2.
Yes, this is the last and only the last finale, episode.
The first and only last episode.
We will no longer be recording. This is the last episode. Thank you for joining us with this run. It's been a hell of a journey, guys.
It's been a hell of a week. No, at the time of this recording, it is December 31st, also known as New Year's Eve. Sparky, I'm excited. Are you excited?
What are you excited for?
Bro, we get to see each other today.
You're right. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I can't wait to drink with you. I have so much other crap
in my head. I know. I'm so excited. I have so many bottles of bleep. So you have to let me know if you want me to bring any of them.
Well, I'm bringing special bottles of Redacted for you as well.
Okay.
It's gonna be.
I was gonna bring a 6-pack of my usuals because that's what the woman drinks.
The sours.
Yeah, I was gonna bring them. So if you want to pick at them, you can too.
I'm excited to give you what I brought because it's gonna be a kind of like a gift exchange because we couldn't see each other for Christmas, but the gift is gonna be alcohol because we're degenerates. Hells yeah. But before we get to there, it's the end of the year, Sparky. And you know what that means.
Is it time for a hug and cuddle session?
No, you're very close, but far from it, actually. I think today we should talk about our wish list going into the new year. Our kind of anime resolutions. Like what do we want to do this year? What do we hope to see? And while I'm thinking of stuff, I'm going to put you on the spot and give your wish list while I'm currently thinking of. Because I told you this last night. I was like, hey, this is going to be the topic, but I actually did not think of a lot of things. So the floor is yours. Take it away.
Well, and so, you know what's funny? Is that when I was making my anime list on the interwebs, when I first created my account, I put on just a bunch of animes that I had already watched, some that I was planning to watch like recently, just so that I could get a little bit into the recommendeds and like see how the website really works with, if they give good recommendations based on what I watched and whatever.
Are you talking about Mal?
So,
my anime list?
Yes, I am talking about my anime list. So, which, by the way, for all you Weeb fans, if you're not using my anime list, Moose introduced it to me this year, and I said, LOL, you crazy, I don't need that. And then one day I started using it, and I actually even have it on my phone for the app.
Oh, wait, this is an app?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
There's an app for everything.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to download that like right now.
It's nice. I pull it up all the time. It looks sleek. It's very nice. But anyways, so I put a handful of animes that I had watched earlier this year, maybe late last year, and I'm excited for their season 2s. Some animes I watched literally like a month ago. Some of these animes I watched late last winter and was just so taken aback by how well made they were. and I'm super excited to hear that they have been announced season 2s already. And one of these animes, for all my childhood fans out there, I think you'll be very, very, very happy
For all the
to know
children.
that this is also on my list. Yes, for all the children. For all the children. This has been something that has been on my mind since middle school, since high school, and only up until recently did I finally leap for joy, and my inner kid felt like he could finally rest at peace.
Can I make a prediction of what it is? I think I know what it is.
You probably know what it is.
Does it rhyme with quiche?
It does.
Oh, it's Bleach.
Yes. So we'll start there since you called it out. So Bleach is one of the animes that I am very, 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 very excited for this year.
That was at least 8
And
years.
the Thousand War arc, I believe it's called the Thousand Blood War arc, is the final arc in the manga. It was the arc that everybody was pissed off didn't get animated because they screwed over the animator and the writer very, very, very hard. Thanks, Shonen Jump. And from what I heard, which I thought was really funny, so another good podcast or another good look-see is Screw Attack. And I was watching their podcast when they did the death battle. I think it was Bleach against Naruto, which was absurd because that was going to be one-sided regardless. But I was watching it, and they actually brought up a lot of stuff that I didn't know about. So, did you actually know that... I forget who the writer is. I want to say it's Tite Kubo, but I don't think it's Tite Kubo. He's a really well-known artist, or manga writer, but I can't remember.
Well, before you continue, did you watch Burn the Witch this year? It's only like 3 episodes.
I did not, but I've heard about that before.
It's from the same author as Bleach. What's his name? Do you know?
I'm gonna pull it up now.
Yeah, so while you're pulling that up, it's from the same mangaka as Bleach. And I read the manga because it was on Shonen Jump for free, so I was like, hey, fuck yeah, I'll read it. And then I watched the anime, and I forget if this was in the manga or not, but in the anime, the final scene revealed that their place of work, like these like witches, whatever, was the London Soul Society branch. And I was like, holy shit, that's actually like really cool. Because isn't that the whole thing in Bleach? They're like the Soul Society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I've never watched Bleach in its entirety. Just like a few handful of episodes during like Toonami. But
I was correct. It was Tite Kubo, by the way.
Tite Kubo. All right.
Yeah, it was Tite Kubo, who is a phenomenal manga writer. He's probably in my top. I mean, I couldn't tell you any of them off the top of my list, but Tite Kubo has created probably all of my favorite mangas / animes of all time.
You would probably really enjoy Burn the Witch. It's like a cross of Bleach and Harry Potter. It's actually really cool.
Oh wait,
I'm waiting.
Yes. Yep. Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's supposed to be like the prequel to either Soul Eater or Bleach.
Bleach, because they have the Soul Society.
Yeah, Bleach. Yep. So that's like the prequel to Bleach. That's like before pre-Soul Society and everything. Something like that.
Yeah. Did you not hear what I said earlier?
I kind of zoned out because I was looking for the author. But
great.
yes.
Yeah. So at the end of the anime, they reveal that it's the London branch of the Soul Society.
Yeah, because I think you sent me the trailer for it, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is basically pre-Bleach. I like that. I'm going to probably have to watch that sometime soon. But so, back to Bleach, and yes, Tite Kubo. I'm just excited. It's the final arc, and what I was talking about with Screw Attack, and what they were doing is that they brought up a lot of points that I had no idea about. One of the things that stood out about it was they had mentioned that So Shonen Jump is a really, really interesting, shitty hole of a industry. So Bleach was a part of the top 3. For those of you youngins who don't know what Bleach is, Bleach was a part of the big 3 with Naruto and One Piece when it first started out, and then it kind of did a shit ton of switcheroos with Dragon Ball, but Bleach was just a god tier anime that got a lot of hate because there were times where the filler, and like people make fun of Naruto, early Naruto, for filler, but there were literal like arcs of filler for Bleach. Like there was like a butt ton of them, and the anime would dip, and One Piece and Naruto would keep doing the same thing. I think we went over it already. One Piece only has like 99 episodes of filler out of 995 that we're on now.
It's like 10%.
But it's very, very little filler, which is great. I love it.
Which is weird, considering like
I know
how many chapters and episodes there are.
And the writer for it is just phenomenal. I don't know how he does it, but
I think he's just bored with nothing else to do.
Probably. But anyways, so Bleach like would dip in and out of like the sales and everything, and once they stopped making the anime after the like 100th season, I think it's like episode 250 or something. Once they stopped making the anime, the manga obviously kept going, and the manga had the same problem. The manga was either really, really good or really, really disinteresting. And it got to a point where Tite Kubo introduced an amazing, overpowered villain. Like, I'm talking like Jiren level of like overpowered, where like you're like, how are these people gonna beat him? And he had this whole set piece put up, and he was like ready to like just unleash it. And then knock on the door, Shonen Jump comes and says, hey, you got a week to wrap up the anime. Or a week to wrap up the manga. He had literally just started the arc. Like, literally created like the first 2-3 chapters of the arc before they jumped on the door and was like, hey, yeah, sorry, you know that cool thing you're doing? Yeah, wrap that shit up, because we don't have time for you anymore.
Yeah, that's
Tite Kubo put in...
That definitely sucks.
Yeah, so instead of getting this great, long, like, brutal, blood-spilling, like, fight, you have another 15 chapters of just BS and another overpowered weapon that takes down the overpowered character, and that's it. It was really dumb. So what I'm excited to see for Bleach, the anime, which is where I'm coming full circle with this, I want to know if Tite Kubo is going to let them animate the part that he didn't get to release. Now that he has a little bit more of a time gap, that he's not feeling pressured to hurry up and finish it, because he already knows the reception he got for finishing the end of the manga the way he did. So I'm really curious as to see if he's going to change it and if he's going to alter it so that he can put it back to where he wanted it to go. I think that's what I'm most excited for. And also, more Bleach. I mean, I get to see more Ichigo, I get to see more Orihime, I get to see more Rukia, more Renji, more Toshiro, my boy. I'm just really excited. But that's one. I'll be quick with the other 3 or 4 because I already talked about that for like 15 minutes. So another one that I'm excited about is Dr. Stone Season 2.
Yes.
Which comes out
very soon. It comes out year. I think it comes out like in like a week or 2.
I was going to say, it comes out I think the 9th, right? Like a couple weeks. I am super excited for Dr. Stone Season 2. Dr. Stone Season 1 was a complete 360 from what I thought it was going to be, like as an anime. And it was 100% different than anything that I've ever watched. And I mean, he teaches you how to blow shit up. He teaches you how to create stuff. Like, it's just awesome. It's like a child's chemistry set. Like, there's so much stuff that you can learn from the anime, and there's so much stuff that like they do right that makes them stand out. And it's by no means a fighting like bloodshed anime, even though they have their action scenes.
I feel like season 2 is going to turn into that because just because of the title, it's called Stone Wars. Plus, it's a shonen, so
for sure. But the first season, for it to capture the greatness of the entire anime, the characters, the visuals were amazing, the whole plot, for it to capture all of that without too much like fighting and bloodshed was just absurd to me. It was just really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you're saying, I think season 2 is going to be something along those lines where they're going to ramp up the fighting, they're going to ramp up the action, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm also excited for that. Like, I would have put that on my wish list, but that just goes without saying. Because, like, yeah, there's like a bunch of season 2s that I'm looking forward to. And Dr. Stone is definitely one of them.
And I think to say, your wish list is different than mine. So what we were talking about, Moose and I, what we were talking about is that his anime list, because he delves into that realm a little more than I do. I just look forward to the second seasons, and then he tells me like, "Hey, you should watch this because this looks really good," or he'll send me a trailer through Funimation.
Hey, Sparky, you should watch Rent a Girlfriend. season 2 is coming out this year.
I feel like he's been telling me that for 3 years.
It came out like a month or two ago. What are you talking about?
Every day.
Every day it's like, hey, you should watch Rent a Girlfriend.
Did you finish those Rent a Girlfriends? Did you finish the Rent a Girlfriend? Did you finish the Rent a Girlfriend? But yeah, so he's gonna be more, I guess, focused on newer animes that are coming out, like first season animes.
We'll see.
Me, I'm just aware of my second season animes that I'm looking forward to. I have one on the list that I'm not sure if it's confirmed for next year or 2022, but I know it's getting a second season because I told you it was getting a second season.
Is it? Is it what we're gonna be reviewing later?
No, it's not. But that one too. I don't know when they're gonna release the second season for that. Like I said, it could be late next year. It could be 2022.
It could be never.
But they have enough. It could be never. But they have enough source material now, and it had enough backing, I think. So there should be no reason why it doesn't get a season 2. But yeah. So Dr. Stone season 2, I'm excited for. The one that I was talking about was Princess Connect Redive.
Ooh, yeah.
And season 2 has been confirmed. I'm not sure if it's going to be late next year, 2021. It sounds like it might be late next year. Could be early 2022. But it has been confirmed. I'm very excited because obviously they've introduced his past characters. The main character, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I don't think... Does he have a name? They just call him Lord or whatever.
She calls him Lord. The other two call him by his actual name.
It's been a while since I've seen that. Another one I recommended to you.
And excuse me, because my brain is garbage, so I can barely remember characters.
I barely remember the characters of last night from what we saw.
I don't remember the characters last night. The only one I remember is Hitomi, and that's because she's like my waifu. But so I'm excited for that. I think that the way that they're gonna probably go about season 2 is very exciting to me because they've introduced his past characters. They've introduced like a new kind of like gang. The girl or the vampire princess, whatever her name is, I'm pretty sure she's still alive at the end of the anime. She gets away or something. So there's a lot of things that they could do with it. I'm just excited because it's just really cool, and I love the characters. I actually like the princess more than I like the main character, but that's just because of all the BS that she's gone through, and because I mean she's a top tier wife.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, finally, a brute woman in an anime JRPG that isn't like a complete klutz.
Well,
what's her face?
Well, hold on. I mean, she's way too nice for her own being. Like, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in like the first like 2 or 3 episodes, she literally like gave her sword to other people because like she was way too nice and friendly with them. If that's not ditzy and derpy, then I don't know what is.
But she's not useless.
But no, she is not useless. She's not like Aqua.
Like that one girl, or that one girl, or the other girl, the sword girl in that anime too, in
Darkness?
Konosuba. Like, they're useless. The only good girl in that is Megumin.
Yes, she is.
Which I know makes you happy.
Oh, I
Like,
really like. It's on my wish list. Like, I'll probably talk about it. But Konosuba season 3. Oh, I want it so badly. I know there's enough material for it. I know it is. So please just give it to me. I need it.
That's like the most painful part. That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel about the anime we're gonna review. Like, I get you don't have enough like source material. So I understand it takes a little while to get there. You gotta build up the manga. You gotta continue that hype going from the anime. But like once you get that source material, put that shit out. Like get it going, because you're gonna make more money through that animation than you are through the manga.
Yeah, since Princess Reconnect and Konosuba share the same studio and director, I have a strong feeling that we're gonna get at least one of them this year. Hopefully, I'll knock on wood. But I think we're definitely gonna get either season 2 of Princess Reconnect, or we're gonna get season 3 of Konosuba. It would be nice if we got both, but I think we're gonna get one.
Well, that's what I was telling you too. Was that was one of the reasons why they couldn't put it out right away? Was because literally as soon as they put out Connect, they were working on Konosuba. So it's like they were doing it like back to back, and then did Konosuba had a season 2, right?
Konosuba has 2 seasons and a movie.
Yeah,
which
so
you should watch the movie.
Probably, I know. Konosuba probably had like bigger hype rolling, so they were like, you know what, let's put this out too, since let's keep her going. And then everybody started watching Princess Connect and was like, well, what the hell's going on with that? And they were like, yeah, we're working on it. And then they confirmed it. They confirmed it actually in like September or August of this year that they were working on a season 2.
Oh, so it's probably gonna come out fall or winter 2021.
Yeah.
Or 2022 maybe, like winter.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Another one I'm excited for, which was confirmed, Shield Hero season 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's coming out not this season, but next season, I think.
Yep, it'll be coming out probably in the spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that. I'm excited.
Yep. I mean, that's what gets me going is on Mal. When I was adding them all to my list, I was checking for the sequels, and I would look at them, and maybe they just say not aired yet, or they'll list on the thing if they have a confirmed like release season, and then I do some scouring on the internet, and they're confirmed. So yeah, season 2 Shield Hero is coming out probably in the spring.
I mean, you can see
for
on Mal, you can see animes based off of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was looking at it a while ago. I think I was looking at the spring season. I'm pretty sure it's coming out the spring season.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see how they continue the story.
Yeah,
I mean, because they left us on a pretty high note.
Yeah, like the way they ended it, it could have been like an actual ending, like a finale. But it's not, and I need more. I want more.
I'm so happy. Yes, and then the last one that I'm excited for right now, because like I said, I don't know about any ones for next year, but season 1's for next year. Season 2 of, drumroll please, Promise Neverland season 2.
Ooh, I still haven't watched it. I know what it's about. I still haven't watched it.
You should.
Doesn't it?
It comes out in the winter.
That comes out in like a few weeks.
Yeah, winter 2021.
Oh, yeah, duh. I'm an idiot. Baka.
Yeah. Baka. But yeah, comes out winter 2021. If there's anything that I'm excited for, it's to finally stop having to hear my sister talk about how great the manga is, and I can finally start watching season 2, and I get to see what all the hype was about. So obviously, from this picture that I'm looking at on my anime list, it looks like there's going to be another faction, or there's going to be another group of kids, or a group of some kind that gets thrown into the mix and ends up becoming the main antagonists for this. And to say that I am excited is an understatement. When I first watched this anime, probably like most people, I went into it blind. I had no idea what to expect. And then the first episode, it seems like it's a cute, friendly, like, wholesome anime. It seems like it's going to be all about, like, a slice of life. Like, it's going to be about these kids in an orphanage.
Nah.
And then, bam, it hits you with reality. And they're actually being raised as cattle on a farm.
Hey, spoilers,
and it is
man.
just
I still
hilarious.
haven't watched it.
Oh, it's okay. It's only the first episode. Trust me.
No,
There's more to it than that.
I know. I pretty much know the entire premise just because, like, I've been listening to podcasts or, like, watching videos, and, like, it gets spoiled for me right away.
Yeah, and for those of you that are like, oh, spoilers, well, I have news for you. That's not the only thing or plot twist that happens in this anime, because it will leave you on your toes. You will never be able to guess a moment that turns in this anime. And that's what I enjoyed about it the most. It is unpredictable as shit, and I absolutely love that it's like that. You have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea what the characters are going to be like. If they're gonna be a certain way one episode, they could turn around and pull 360 the next episode. There's so many things in the season 1 that just made me go, holy shit, this is a top tier anime, and I can't wait for season 2. And now that it's finally announced, and it's probably going to come out around the same time Dr. Stone does, I'm very excited. My winter 2021 is already looking nice.
2021 starting off right.
Exactly. Give me Dr. Stone and give me Promised Neverland, and then a couple months later, give me Shield Hero and Bleach.
So is that it for your list?
That is it for my list. So what do you have on your list, Moose?
So for my list, I have like two things on my wish list, kind of like two big things, and then I actually have a resolution. Ooh,
okay.
New Year's resolution. So one of the things on my wish list is, like you said, is like continuations of seasons. Like, that's just expected. Like, I want to see Dr. Stone season 2, Shield Hero season 2, My Hero season 5. Like, all that stuff.
I forgot to include that too, but yes, I am also excited for My Hero 5. I just didn't include it because I thought 4 and 3 were kind of duds, and
hold on, wait, yeah, because spoiler, I'm way ahead in the manga. I'm caught up in the manga for My Hero and Black Clover, and Black Clover, the new arc coming out, that's gonna be killer. I can't English today. Yeah, so I'm excited for My Hero season 5, the continuation of Black Clover, like Dr. Stone. Like, I'm excited for all that. Like, that's a given. My other wish list is, I really hope that these get anime adaptations this year. I know they're probably not going to, because they're Shonen Jumps, and Shonen just released Jujutsu Kaisen. But I really want these to get, like, some kind of anime adaptation. And it's three manga series that I've been reading that, like, came out this year.
Okay.
One of them is called Ghostwriter Time Paradox, where it explores, or it expands, like, what it means to be, like, a mangaka, and, like, what they go through, and, like, to, like, try to, like, be the top, like, try to write the next One Piece or the next Dragon Ball, and, like, stuff like that. Are you cracking an egg?
I was cracking an egg and then I dropped something.
Did you drop the egg?
I did drop the egg.
Oh, you should probably clean that up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so it goes off of that, but there's also a twist where this guy, like, he sucks at drawing manga. Like, he cannot get, like, a break. But then one day, during a freak lightning storm, I don't know how it happens, but he starts getting Shonen Jump magazines from the future. So then he's like, wait, hold on, I'm gonna read this. Oh, this shit's really good. It hasn't come out yet, so I think I'm gonna write it. So then he kind of, like, plagiarizes that new series. And then, like, a bunch of shit happens, and, like, he feels, like, really guilty about it. And then he meets the actual writer, like, in the present time. And then, like, they have that whole interaction. It was so interesting. It's really cool. And, like, it was kind of short, too. Like, it was only maybe, like, 30, 40, 50 chapters. So it would only be, like, a one-season anime. But it would be so cool if they did it. It
actually sounds really cool, too.
Yeah, like, it's pretty cool. Another one, which was very short-lived because it had a poor reception, but I thought it was really interesting. It was a manga called Bone Collection. It came out this year. It was probably the same. It had the same running time as Ghost Rider Paradox. But this one was, if I could describe Bone Collection, I would say it's a mix of Bleach, Konosuba, and Demon Slayer. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because it's actually really hard to explain what the show's about. But like it was like such an interesting world and like a really cool premise, but it just did not get a good reception. So Shonen Jump killed it early. And I really want to see like what the anime adaptation would be. I know it's not going to happen, but it would be really cool to see. And I think everyone out there should like give this a try. It's only like 50 chapters, give or take. It's a very quick read. You can get it done in a day. Now, on the other hand, the last manga that I want to see as an anime this year from Shonen Jump is called Mission Yozakura Family. It's still ongoing. They actually just released their first volume like a week or two ago. This manga is so fun to read. I have no idea why, but like I just enjoy reading it, and like I got invested in the characters like so quickly. So it's basically like it's about like this spy family, and there's this little shonen protagonist who doesn't have a family anymore. He's very depressed, like like most shonen protagonists without parents. And then there's this like one girl who bothers to give him the time of day, who's like super nice to him. I forget her name, but she's part of this Yozakura family, who's like this super duper like big spy family organization. Stuff happens, blah blah blah. They somehow get married in high school. So now he is a part of the Yozakura family, and they basically train him to be a spy. And then as he's training to become a spy, his parents passed, and like how they died gets revealed to him. And it wasn't just some freak accident. Like his parents were involved in this spy world as well. So it's super interesting, and like now he's like on this like path of revenge, while he's also trying to protect his new family that he loves so much.
That sounds like so many like not animes. It sounds like so many shows that I've watched like in general.
Yeah, I know it's generic as fuck, but
that sounds like Spy Kids. That sounds like Looney Tunes Back in Action. Like that sounds like some stereotypical stuff, but it sounds really good.
Oh, it is. Like, and there's another spy series that came out like a while ago called Spy X Family, which is basically the same premise. And I know people enjoy that one better, and I think it is getting an anime adaptation. I think it was confirmed. But I don't know what it is about Mission Yozakura Family. I just enjoy reading it so much more. So that's it for my wish list. I want to see those three get adaptations this year. Now, my resolution. This might shock you, Sparky. Badoom ching. I hate myself.
I could slap you for that one, but it's okay. I'll let you live.
I'm gonna write that down to take that out.
No, you gotta keep that in. You have to keep that
37 minutes in, bad pun. Alright.
Bad pun.
Alright, so my one resolution this year is, you know how much I hate long series, right? Like, I will never watch... I've told you that I would never watch One Piece, JoJo, and long series like that. Like, anything more than, like, 5 or 6 seasons. Anything more than, like, 100 episodes. Way too much. Hell, anything more than, like, 25 episodes, that's way too much for me. Because I like to binge. I'm a binger. But I'm making a resolution this year, Sparky. I'm gonna watch... I'm gonna start off with 2 large series. One of them I actually already started watching, which is the Monogatari series, because there's at least 5 or 6 different seasons, but it's not like continuations of seasons. It's like different characters, different shit like that. But it's all like the same universe, the same plot, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's the first season. I already started watching it, and I actually really want you to watch it because it's so cool, like how they do it. Like it's not like anything I've seen before in anime. It's so cool and interesting. Now, the other show that I plan to watch this year might get you and the other guys some hype. For you see, Sparky, I have committed a cardinal sin. For I have not watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But that's going to change in 2021.
You have no idea how happy that makes me.
Yeah, I can hear it in your monotone voice.
You have no idea. Just goes Super Saiyan. How happy I am.
Yeah,
Stop Platinum!
Salamander! No one can deflect the Emerald Splash. Yeah.
Please.
So I'm finally getting around to it. I'm probably gonna watch it after I watch Monogatari, like the entirety of that. So probably by February or March, I'll watch it. I don't think I'm gonna get around to watching One Piece just because I won't. But I'll give JoJo a shot. I want to watch it for all the memes. I'm pretty sure a new season's coming out this year anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so might as well catch up to it before that comes out. And then
I'm so excited for that too. I didn't include that, but because there's no confirmed release date for it, I don't know if it's gonna be next year. But
I think it's coming out. I think it's coming out this year. If not this year, then winter 2021. I mean winter 2022.
Yeah, it's gonna be either really late next year, or it's gonna be early 2022, and I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to see Jolene get animated.
Jolene.
She's a very interesting top tier waifu, and I think the first episode is, from what I've been told, probably gonna be very interesting for a lot of people.
I thought Tequila was the top tier waifu. See, because like Tequila, didn't one of the JoJo's like cross dress in an episode, and he called himself Tequila. See, like I know the memes.
Dressing up.
I know the memes.
Yep.
I just haven't watched the show, just because I watched the first half of season 1, and I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. But I'll give it a second shot. I'll reload, and I wouldn't say I'm excited to watch it, but I'm looking forward to it.
I will watch it with you. I want to rewatch it. I will rewatch it with you. And if you ever want to give One Piece a try, I will also watch that with you.
No.
And we will go through it, and we will skip out all of the unimportant BS. Because honestly, right where they are right now in One Piece, you could probably skip half of the anime and just go right past to the time skip, and you'd know everything as long as you know like the certain characters. Like if you know everybody from the Straw Hat crew, after the time skip, you'll pretty much know everything.
I think the latest chapter in the manga kind of spoiled some stuff for me. It's like I think I know what happens right after where you guys are at in the anime, and I just gotta say, like, oh boy, just you wait. So like I'll probably watch One Piece eventually. Maybe not this year, because I really don't like watching those big shows anymore. I wanna watch my one seasons, cry about them, and then hope for a second season, and then see that that season 1 came out in 2004.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my resolution.
I was gonna save my resolution for the last bit in the podcast. Not it's not anime related, but I was gonna save it.
Does it have to do with Virus Kun? Because we can't talk about Virus Kun.
It's not about Virus Kun.
Alright.
Corona-chan. Yeah, no, we're not talking about her.
That bitch.
But anyways, so now that we've kind of got that out of the way, anything else you want to get out before we go into the review?
Your mic cut out, but I'm going to assume that you said, do I have anything else to say before we go into the review? And the answer is no.
That's exactly what I said.
I know you so well.
Kiss.
Mwah.
So,
Sparky, did you know that the one with the sharper fangs wins? That's what killing bites is.
That is what killing bites is. Slash.
So we just watched Killing Bites last night, which on Mal is like a 6.5. which I'm not going to say is criminally underrated, but it is underrated. Because there is no way the show is like a 6.
So, yeah, when I was looking at it, when we were diving into what anime to watch for the week, we kind of wanted to go with something that was a little on the bad side compared to what we watched with Your Lie in April.
Yeah.
And that was the lowest rating that we had on the lists that we... That was the lowest one we had out of the 4 we picked.
Yeah, I was about to say I have some on my list to watch that are at like a 4.
And to be completely honest with you, I have no idea why I got that low of a rating. And the one conclusion that we came to was that there were a lot of people giving this like 8s, high 9s. Maybe there's that one weirdo that gave it a 10 because of some of the scenes that were in it.
Yeah, this is no way a masterpiece. Unless you're into that kind of stuff. Unless you're a furry.
Yeah. And then there were people on the other side of the spectrum giving this 3s and 4s and 5s.
And 1s. Like I saw 1s in there.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of curious to see as to what those people say.
Did you pull up those reviews?
I'm gonna pull it up now again.
Did you? Because I was looking at them. Do you want to do that
now, or do you want to do that after we're done with the?
We'll do that after we're done. But I just wanted to say, did you pull up that guy who gave it a 1?
No, I want to pull him up though again.
Because I looked at his profile, his anime list, and you want to know what he gave a 10? What? Fucking Sword Art Online. So if that's his,
no say in the matter.
Yeah, if that's his definition of a masterpiece, then he has no right to give this show a 1.
That's like our friend who you know exactly I'm talking about, who watches Sword Art Online. That's like him giving this a 1 and giving Sword Art Online a 10 or a 9 because that's what he would.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gave Shield Hero a higher rating than Sword Art, which he should.
Yeah, he should.
But anyway, so like all good things, let's start off with the opening and ending, which I just want to preface: we shouldn't base the final score off of the opening and endings because those I feel those are separate, you know.
So then, do you want to not include them in our ratings?
Well, like we can rate them, but we like let's say for example the opening and endings are 10s, like just hypothetically, but then the rest of the show is like a 5. Like that shouldn't bump it up to like a 7 or an 8 just because of the intros and outros. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just going back over it then because I'm going to change my number then.
Okay. So yeah, while you're doing that, I'll talk about the openings and endings. Very interesting is what I gotta say. I was not expecting that. The openings and the ending are both bangers. They're bops. Like I have no words for them. Like I wasn't expecting something like that good out of the music sense, at least. Like the animation that they used for the opening was very fan servicey, which like I didn't mind. Because it kind of like shows you like what this show is going to be mostly, which is like ecchi and fan service. And the ending is even worse, I feel, with the whole fan service thing. But still, like after like the first episode, like we both wanted to add them to our Spotify playlists. Like that's how good they were.
Yeah, so I thought the intro was really, really good. Just from a liker in that kind of music regardless, and I don't listen to that kind of music anymore, but whenever they get used in anime, I definitely add it. I mean, could you tell me that this show would have been completely different and completely off-center if the intro was some kind of like Kimi no se, something like that?
Yeah,
like something just if it was
like very like, poppy, then yeah, it would be very different. Like I would see why this. If I saw a poppy opening for a show like this, like oh yeah, this is trash. But since it was so metal, it was so raw, it was so cool.
When I thought of this intro, I thought of Dead Man Wonderland, which I don't know if you've watched.
No,
but that intro too is the same thing. That's actually probably one of my favorite anime intros. And we can watch it after we're done with the podcast, but it was just it's kind of the same thing. It lets you know right off the bat this is going to be a gory, brutal anime, and by God, was it gory and brutal. I mean, there were a lot of moments where it was like, oh yes, the plot.
Are you talking about Killing Bites or Dead Man Wonderland?
Oh, Killing Bites.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about Killing Bites. So there were a lot of points. No, there's no plot in Dead Man Wonderland because they're all children.
Boo.
But in Killing Bites, there was a lot of like points where it was like, oh yes, the plot. And then there was a lot of points where it's like,
oh God, the plot.
Did she just shove her hand down his throat?
Yeah, like holy shit. Like yeah, there's a lot of like shock factor, and like I was not expecting that from this show because like I'll be honest, like the way I came across this show was on like a YouTube clip, and when I first looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, this is probably a hentai. I'll add it to my list. Why not? And I was like, oh wait, it's not a hentai. Oh, I guess it's just very ecchi then. And I was like, hey, Sparky, let's watch it together. I'm so glad I picked this. I'm so glad I picked this show after your lie in April.
Yeah, because it was like a mixture of everything. Like it was just really good. I liked it. I'm kind of mad that I didn't get to watch DxD last night because of it, but still, it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I feel like to summarize the show, it had everything except for characters. But I'll go more into that later.
The characters definitely were not allowed to develop as much as they probably should have. The only one who really got a true backstory was the main character in Hitomi. But I feel like they could have went a little bit deeper into that dive. You know, maybe in how she was created or, you know, stuff like that.
Well, she wasn't created, she was born. Like, she wasn't made in a lab. Weird. Yeah, and so, they just passed right over and they gave no explanation.
Yeah, like, what was her father like? What was her mother like? Did she have a traumatic backstory with, like, her mom and her father dying because they were seen as animals?
She was a street kid, so we have no idea. So do you want to talk about story first or characters?
Well, first I want to give my intro ratings and my outro rating.
No, sorry.
So I gave the intro a 8.7 because it was really, really good. I didn't feel like giving it a 9 because it's not something I can listen to over and over again like Your Lie in April's.
Yeah.
But it was still really, really good. And the outro, I just gave it a 7.9. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't average. It was close to an 8. I thought it was pretty good. Still good enough to add to a playlist. But like I said, nothing that I really would like. I wouldn't see this and be like, oh, I gotta listen to this right now.
Yeah,
I might listen to the first half of it on my Spotify playlist if it was on there, and then just be like, all right, next song.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. I don't know if I would give the opening an 8.7. I'd probably give it like an 8.3 or an 8.4. And then I'd give the ending probably a straight 8 or like an 8.1 or 7.9 in that range. Because they're bangers and they're bobs, but it's not something that I'm going to be like driving down the highway on. I'm like, you know what I really want to listen to right now? The Killing Bites ending.
Yeah.
Like if it comes up when I'm hitting shuffle, I'm not going to skip it, but I'm also not going to actively play it.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
And so next we can get into the story if you want. We could talk about. What did you want to talk about? The plot, or do you want to talk about the characters?
Well, we'll talk about the plot and like that story element. So, okay. I mean, when it comes to video games, you know me. I hate battle royales. I hate playing them. I hate the concept, and I hate all of that. But as like a movie or show or anime element, I think battle royales are kind of conceptually cool. And then the way that they did this one, with the whole like chess theme, I guess you can say, or like the game, like it was a mix of like it was kind of like Hunger Games, but with Pokemon. Yeah. It was like Hunger Games Pokemon, but with humans.
They were literally playing chess with the characters.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Thermothropes?
Therianthropes.
Therianthropes, yeah.
Yeah. If they didn't melt my brain with how confusing the 4 factions were, like like it would have been like really cool and like really enjoyable. And like that was like that was the second half pretty much of Killing Bites. The first half is more of like it's more like a boxing match. You know, like you have a fight today against this guy. He has 100 victories, 0 losses, and you're fresh, so you're 0-0. I thought that was cool too, but I much preferred the whole battle royale chess game because it was also bureaucratical proxy wars mixed in, and so like, it wasn't just about the battle royale. It was about like hostile takeovers of companies and stuff like that. Like it was really cool. I guess the lore is rich and deep, and then they just kind of ended it.
But while you're talking, I found the one that you were talking about. Did you actually read his full comment?
I think I read like half of it.
He gives a full-on synopsis and like goes into detail and everything. I was like, you just sound like a very boring person.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like you only watch...
Yeah, so you sound like you only watch SAO and you gave it a 10.
Yeah, and not even that, but you just sound like the only thing you do is missionary, my guy. You sound like a very boring and plain dude. You like vanilla pudding. You don't like...
Well, hold on.
Strawberry...
Hold on. What the fuck is wrong with vanilla?
There's nothing wrong with vanilla, but he doesn't want to expand his horizons. He doesn't want to get out of that SAO feel. He wants to stay with vanilla.
I bet he doesn't want to
try rice pudding, or he doesn't want to try, chocolate mousse pudding.
I bet he's never even seen Bunny Girl Senpai.
I bet he's never even seen anything past the year of 2012, or before the year of 2012.
So we'll talk about that idiot, that Baka.
Yeah, we'll get into those reviews later. The Baka.
So what did you think of the plot synopsis? Ish.
I thought it was average. I gave it a 7.7 just because it was still really good. I didn't feel like anything was rushed. However, it's another tournament. It's another BR. Mm-hmm. It's another team set with 3 people. Mm-hmm. It's a big shocker there.
Big shock.
It was just the plot itself, and specifically talking about the plot, because everywhere else got pretty good. I think the only other thing that got at the same score was the animation, but I thought that the plot was just like they dragged it too long. I felt like they were very wishy-washy with him and
that's just character development. That's not plot.
Yeah. Well, but even with him and her, and I thought it was cool that they kind of started to have their moments during said pieces, but yeah, it was just very very narrow.
I think you're thinking of the plot more along the lines of characters and their development. I'm just talking about the general idea, premise, and lore.
Even then, it's still flatlined for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give it above an 8, but I definitely wouldn't give it below a 6. I'd probably give it either a straight 7 or a mid 7.
Yeah, it's still it was good. It was interesting the way they carried it out. Like it said, the only reason it got a high 7 for me was because of the chess battle. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen that done in anime, and I thought it was interesting that the players have to move their characters and everything like that. That was cool, but other than that, it's just another shonen. It's another tournament arc with a BR and three people going to fight in the tuning exams. It's pretty much the same setup, but that doesn't make it bad though. It was still good. The way they carried it out was very plain and simple. But it wasn't terrible.
The way they went about it didn't make it boring. It was enjoyable to watch, even though it was generic.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I mean, and I can't really figure out what they could have done better, because you can only do so much with that kind of a style. But
so we pretty much both gave the plot the story plot, not the plot. We gave the story plot a mid 7. which is kind of average for newer animes, because this came out in 2018, so it was probably produced in 2017. So like a mid-7 for a 2017 production isn't bad. That's pretty average. So let's talk about the characters.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna confess, I have no idea what any of the characters' names are, except for Hitomi. I just know there's Hitomi the honey badger, the useless protagonist, the bunny, the hippo, and then that bitch, the chess player. Like they say their names, but you just don't care. Like none of the characters really have interest. They don't have enough time to develop, really. Like you're introduced to all these characters and you're just supposed to know who they are. And like even the characters that do get time to develop, like the main character and Hitomi, like they don't get enough development where I care about them. Like we don't really see Hitomi and the main character's like relationship until like the very end. Like we don't see like their day-to-day lives. Like we only see like snippets of that. But then at the end we're just supposed to care about their feelings and stuff like that.
Right.
And like you'll probably say that the main character went through a lot of change and he developed a lot, but honestly,
Not really.
He didn't. Like he had no developments at all. He went from being a pussyfooted bitch who gets told what to do to being a slightly more confident pussyfooted bitch who gets told what to do. Because like he was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, like in school, in my job, like I just go with the flow. I get told what to do. I don't fight back. But now that I'm this player in this Des Royale, I'm just gonna let Hitomi tell me what to do. Like what do they call it? Operation Unthink. So like he had no developments whatsoever. Like which makes sense after like I read some of the manga, because like in like where the anime ended, I read that chapter in the manga, and the creator gave like a little like 2-3 paragraph like speech, which I'll talk about later. So like it makes sense that he got no character development. But like in an anime, like I don't know, I just did not care for these characters. I think it's like the character development was below average. But like the character design was kind of intriguing. Because I don't know about I'm no furry. Like fuck that shit. Sorry if you are. You do you, I'll do me. But like the characters, they were interesting to look at. Like I wanted to see like what they turned into. Like there's a handful of times where we saw like their human form. And then like we were just like making guesses. It's like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna be like an ox or a rhino, or then they turn out to be a hippopotamus, and it was like the funniest thing ever. Or that snake dude. I thought he was gonna be a hyena, but he turned out to be a snake and a rapist. But
there's a lot of rape that goes on in that anime.
Yeah, holy shit. But
especially the last episode.
Yeah, but
which we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen, I guess, because nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, so like the character design was okay. I give it about like a 5.4 or 5.5. Like it's very average, but like it was like slightly above average. But the development just killed it for me. Like I give it's in the 4. Like it was pretty bad. That's like my one gripe with the show on why I think it's shit. Or why I think it has such a low rating, was just because of the character development, and it's non-existent.
So I gave it an 8.7.
Of course you did.
What did I actually give it?
I gave it a 10.
I gave it an 8.3. I was thinking about lowering it to a 7.9, but I said, you know what? I was thinking about it from a different point of view. Yes, the character development was trash, which is why I'll probably lower it to 7.9, but that's not going to really change my overall rating that much. The lack of background on the characters was annoying, yes.
Yes.
But as much as I hate to say it, I really, honestly, and truthfully did not give two rats' asses about any of the characters other than Hitomi.
Exactly.
And
Like, you don't really care about any of the characters.
But not in like a bad way. I don't care about Bunny Girl. I don't care about the hippo dude. Like, I didn't care about them right off the bat. I was like, you know what? Hitomi is the number one. That's my girl. And everybody else is dog shit. The only other girl that was really exciting was Cheetah Girl. And the other two characters that I really, really liked, who I wish I would have seen a little more of,
The secretary?
was Tiger and Leo.
Oh.
No, I don't care about the secretary.
Yo, that secretary kicked ass twice. Literally.
Yeah, she's bad, but I'm good with that, with my set list. And then yeah, I get it's supposed to be an ecchi, but this was way more than an ecchi.
There was full on lesbian.
There's ecchi.
There was lesbian,
and then there's a snake
rape.
dude ripping out both of his penises at the same time, and they don't blur it. They show it, and he's just like, "These are just my
well, that
extensions."
That could have just been the site we watched didn't censor it. I'm sure, like if it was on Crunchyroll or Funimation.
Oh, for sure.
It would have been censored.
However, I was not complaining. It was very fun to watch.
I wasn't. Wait, what? Hold on. Shotomate. What? You were gonna complain about the rape scene?
Oh, I wasn't gonna complain about his two penises.
Oh, wait, hold on. How is that somehow worse?
But anyways, so I thought that was interesting. I mean, I knew it was gonna be a little bit of an ecchi.
Oh yeah.
But they took it to like the extreme. Like they were trying to make a borderline hentai, and I wonder if there's an uncut version somewhere floating around, or how much. What was the word you used for it? For porn manga?
What?
Didn't you say you had like a special? There's like a special word for like what they call like manga that's porn, or like
hentai,
fan made porn or something like that.
Dojinshi.
Yeah, dojinshi.
Oh yeah, this.
I wonder how much
probably,
of that there's out there for this.
I'm gonna look it up after the podcast. Actually,
there's definitely a ton of them, because oh my god, this show like did not hold back with the amount of like rape that was going on, with the amount of like
fan service,
lesbian stuff that was going on. I mean, we literally full on got introduced to two characters through sex. And they were sisters.
Wait.
Like that's just some weird shit.
Oh,
the lizards.
Yeah.
They were sisters, and they were just straight on having sex in the bed, and got a phone call like, "Oh, well, time to kill."
I almost forgot about that part.
Like, yeah, like this show just did not hold back. Also, we got to see nips.
Oh yeah, I was not expecting that. Like it was episode
I was not
1.
either. I was very confused.
It was episode 1, and all of a sudden this woman comes up to the main character, and she's like, "Hey, do you like what you see?" And then I was like, "I like what I see." I just wasn't expecting that. Like I knew it was ecchi. Like it was one of the reasons why I wanted to watch this for the podcast, was to get that ecchi background. Because you know me, your boy's a degenerate. I'm a degenerative weeb. I fucking love ecchi shit. I watch hentai. I stream hentai for the boys. It's what I do. But yeah, I just wasn't expecting this level of ecchi. Like we had a uninvited guest watching with us, and even he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys?"
Yeah, there's ecchi, and then there's borderline hentai, and this
Shmentai.
show is definitely borderline hentai.
Well, we'll call it shmentai.
Like, yeah, we'll call it shmentai. This was shmentai. Like, it was just like a crazy like amount of like sexual innuendos and stuff, and the characters themselves, going back to that so we can come back full circle, it was like, it wasn't bad. They were really good. I, again, didn't care. I couldn't have gave two rats' asses about the hippo, about anybody else, but Cheetah Girl, Tiger, Leo, Hitomi, and the main character. Like, those were the only people I cared about. Like, and I thought it was cool and unique how they were calling each other by their names. Like, by their, like, animal names. So, like, Hitomi was getting called Ratel. Like, Leo was being called Leo. Tiger was being called Tiger. Like, they have different, like, you know, stuff for that. And I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really care too much about their backgrounds. That's why I gave it an 8.3. The only thing I wish is that they gave a little bit more of a backstory on Hitomi. Maybe the Cheetah Girl living in her brother's shadow. Maybe a little bit more on Tiger and Leo, even though they showed like a little like 2-second clip of them.
They showed like a little something, but it was like it wasn't really worth our time. Really, you just saw how Tiger was like frustrated with Leo and how much he wanted to beat him, but it was so one-dimensional. It was like, oh, he didn't give me the time of day, so now I want to kick his ass. That's like, is that all, bud? Is that all, Chief?
So I'm hoping that when they do put out the second season,
if they put out the second season,
they will put out the second season, that they'll go into depth with the new characters they introduced, because obviously, like, that was the one thing they were lacking in, was just the in-depth of the backgrounds, but that was pretty much it. I mean, I have no other complaints as far as that goes.
So is that it for characters?
That's it for characters.
Right, so animation next, or animation or sound?
I just have a.
You pick.
We can combine them if you want, because I only have like a couple things on the animation.
Yeah, I only have one word. I only have one sentence to say about the sound, and it's holy shit. I felt like I was on like the final boss of an RPG. Like every time there was a battle, like every 2 minutes it was like fucking like it was like I was fighting Sephiroth.
Final boss fight.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was crazy. Like I was like the soundtrack is a hell of a time, and I guess that goes with the opening and endings. I guess maybe next review we'll just combine the soundtrack and the opening and endings together if you want.
I mean, I'm fine with keeping the sound separate.
Yeah, and like not just
the sound is in the anime.
Yeah, not just like the soundtrack, but also like the sound design too. Like, do you remember that one time that the Tiger, whatever, was like he did like his like first like move, and it was just like this bass boosted like, and it was
it was basically the world,
but it was also cool at the same time. Like it reminded me of Fire Force. Like, did I ever send you that?
Also has some pretty...
Did I ever send you that video?
What?
About the Fire Force sound compilation?
Maybe. I saw one actually, like, through Twitter. Somebody was doing, like, not on Twitter, on TikTok, about somebody doing, like, best anime, like, sounds or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of them was whatever his name is from Fire Force and his fire feet. Yeah.
Yeah, so this sound design reminded me so much of Fire Force, and I actually loved it.
Yeah, because that has good sound in it too. That's why I wanted to keep it separate.
Yes, I think the sound for me was like an 8.9 or an 8.8. Like in general.
It makes me feel better about my rating though.
Oh. Why would you give it
9.3?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go lower with that.
No, I thought the sound was phenomenal.
Well,
I thought the battle music was crazy. The sound effects were insane. Like you're saying with Tiger, like that boom was basically like, oh shit, this man just basically broke the speed of sound.
Like, as soon as it happened, like even our uninvited guest was like, wait, what the fuck was that? Like we all were just like paused and like, wait, what just happened? And then boom, he hits her, and it was like, oh shit. I'll round mine up to a 9. How about that?
That's fine. I don't care. It's your rating. But yeah, I think that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that a lot. That was pretty much all I had on sound. Was just the overall quality was just good. It all fit the mood. It fit the gore. It fit the action. I mean, Yeah. I mean, you want to move on to animation since that's a quick wrap up?
Yeah, the animation was, I would say it's about like 60-40 for me. Because on one hand, like the character models looked clean as fuck. Like whenever they got bruises, like you saw them. Like we were reeling in pain whenever they got hurt because we just saw their cracked ribs and like their broken shoulders and shit like that. We're like, oh, that looks good, but ow at the same time. And even the plot, you know what I'm talking about. Those nice camera angles, the juicy plot.
Do you even want to go over what my plot rating was? Mine
10.
was absurd.
10.
I gave it a 9.7.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so like and like the fight scenes like weren't bad at all for like I mean, yeah, it's a 2018 anime, so like it's gonna look good. But like it just wasn't bad at all. The only bad part about the animations were
say it with me now.
The CGI. You're supposed to say it with me.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.
CGI.
The CGI.
Fucking CGI. It was kind of bad. Really bad.
So for those of you that don't know, or I don't know if we've ever covered it in the podcast before, but
probably not. It's only episode 2.
I absolutely despise CGI, especially in anime. CGI in anime makes everything look terrible.
Uh-huh.
CGI in anime is where animations go from 8.9s to 6.3s. It's absolutely appalling to watch because it just looks disgusting. And in this anime, yes, there were times where the CGI didn't look terrible. But when they kept, like, with the snake fight, like, the CGI was just disgusting to look at. It was just
fight,
appalling.
the pangolin fight. It was nasty.
Appalling.
Like, they were doing so well.
The only one that I actually was, like, okay with was the armadillo or whatever.
The pangolin.
That was the only fight that I was okay with. It was just absolutely appalling, and I just was not about it.
Yeah.
I felt like they could have animated him or had some moments that were, like, CGI with some of the characters and then just go back to animation. But these guys stayed in CGI form the entire time. And you can't tell me that these guys can't animate actual, like, snakes.
No, the snake,
or, like, actual stuff.
Was 2D at certain intervals during the fight. That's why I found it, like, so disgusting to look at, because they kept switching back and forth between 2D and CG.
It's like just... Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's like stay solid.
I think I gave the animation 6.9, just because of the.
I gave it a 7.7.
Just because of the. Oh wow, I was lower. Well, I gave it a 6.9 for you know why, but.
Well, I gave the plot a 9.7 because you know why.
Yeah, so I mean that's the animation. Like it was above average. And I mean,
but it was nothing to really.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see Nips, so it was fine. I'll forgive you.
And speaking of Nips, the plot.
Oh wait, hold on. Before we do this, who's your waifu?
Oh, Hitomi.
Really? Because I know
Hitomi.
you were on that bunny train before the end of the show. What changed?
She was very kawaii. However, I'm okay with useless characters, but her Animorph was just kind of awkward to look at, whereas Rattel, or Hitomi, was just not only badass, but just... ugh. Cheetah Girl, too. Cheetah Girl's also an S-tier waifu, if I had to... or not an S-tier. Maybe like a B, maybe high A tier.
Yeah. So I'm actually conflicted because on episode 1 when we were just like watching the opening, I was like, oh, like that Cheetah Girl, like yeah, she's gonna be my waifu, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed every part that she was in, especially that part towards the end when they're fighting the civet. But then we got introduced to the bunny girl, and I was like, oh wait, hold on, I'm actually conflicted now because the bunny girl is like, she's so wholesome, she's so cute. All she wants to do is dig and make babies. But I don't know, like Hitomi just wasn't doing it for me. Maybe because like every 5 minutes she would tell us what killing bites is, and it's the one with the sharpest fangs wins. But that was a real turn off.
Something like that. I can't wait to read you a comment that mocks that.
I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, I think my waifu is tied between the bunny girl and the cheetah girl. They're both A tier in my book, and then Hitomi's like a high B, low B.
Yeah, in my eyes, Hitomi's a A tier and Cheetah Girl's a B tier, maybe a low A tier, but she was really good.
I mean, because like she cared about Hitomi. Like as much as I hate her brother complex, like she actually cared.
She definitely cared about Hitomi a little too much.
Yeah, she did a little too much. But I'm talking like they were like supposed to be enemies at first, and then like she like stole her panties, which I thought was fucking hilarious the way she did it. And then they dressed up in maid outfits for the fan service, and then they went to go get pancakes because why not? But they're good friends, in my opinion, and Let
me tell you, seeing those pancakes in the animation made me want to go to an IHOP.
Our mutual friend thought it was shortcake.
Yeah, I want to go and eat some pancakes at IHOP.
Yeah, instead of cheesecake, you should have made pancakes for tonight.
I'll make pancakes with strawberries and whipped cream and some maple syrup.
Oh, you had me at maple syrup.
But yeah, the quote unquote plot, as us on the Men of Culture like to say,
9.8.
Was 9.7 for me. It was just phenomenal.
The fan service.
I mean, the fan service was great. The actual plot was great.
It was fantastic.
The only part I did not enjoy was the amount of rape. But
the what?
Other than that, I said the only part I didn't enjoy was the amount of rape. But other than that, it was a pretty good erotic ecchi.
Yeah, we love ourselves some ecchi. Are we gonna watch another ecchi next week?
Oh yeah, we have. Maybe not next week.
Well, it's your turn to pick, so it's up to you. Honestly.
Yeah, I'll find one. Maybe I'll force you to watch High School DxD with me.
Well, hold on. That's like. How many seasons is that? 3 or 4?
We only have to watch the first season.
We'll see. I'm saving High School DxD for a special night, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well, in due time.
Is there anything else?
So overall,
or are we going to overalls?
Yeah, we can just go to overall. I'm pretty done with that.
All right. Yeah. Overall, I think I'm not gonna say I've said it before, but I'm not gonna say that this show is criminally underrated. But it is definitely underrated. I have no idea why it's at a 6.5. After saying all my piece, like really the only bad part about this show for me was the character development, and then like the CGI. Like that's it. Like everything else about the show is like really great. Is it a masterpiece? No way. Like this doesn't even come close to Your Lie in April. But just looking at it by itself, like. I really enjoyed watching this show. Like we were laughing our asses off at like just like their reactions. Like every guy and like that one bitch had like the best reactions ever. Like it was really great and really enjoyable. And like the reactions alone, like we were laughing our asses off. Like I was in tears sometimes. Like what was that?
We were in tears for that moment where he was like Operation Unthink.
Operation Unthink.
And then the one before that too, with the guy when he gets introduced into Hitomi, the nerd,
high school girl.
Yeah, and it like does the triple pan like really quick. That had us rolling.
And then during the chess game, that one bitch, when like her reactions whenever like things weren't going her way, she was like, ah, like her mouth was like so far open.
Yeah, she's like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yep, and then her mouth was also so far open later in that season.
But yeah,
for reasons you'll have to watch the anime for if you haven't already, which if you have,
yeah, so
Baka.
Yeah, I think the main reason why people didn't like this show is probably because of the oversaturation of ecchi. the ending, and then maybe like the animation and character development. But overall,
I was gonna say because
I really enjoyed this show. Like, I'm not gonna give it an 8. I'm probably gonna give it like a 7.4 or like a 7.3, maybe even a 7.5. Like, I'll give it a mid 7. Like, it was good.
Okay.
It was a good show. Like, it wasn't great, but like it was really good.
I'm going to have to go the other way. I was gonna say that it was very good. I'm not saying it's criminally underrated.
Exactly.
Very underrated. Would I recommend it? Yeah, but don't watch it right away. You could let it sit there, collect some dust. You can afford that. Yeah, it's not something you have to really get into right away, like Your Lie in April. I thought it was good. The overall anime was very nice. I'm excited for season 2.
If it ever comes out.
When it comes out.
If.
And when.
If.
And when. And I think, honestly, there wasn't enough bad things in it to make me go, oh, this is a shitter. I'm going to put it at a 6 or a 7. But I am kind of interested to read some of the comments and some of the reviews to see, I mean, not just what you people think about it, the Baka community, but I also think it's going to be interesting to see what the reviews say about it, which is what I'm going to do after I'm done saying my piece. So, I'm giving this, so I'm conflicted. I'm not giving this a 9. I'm giving it an 8. And I gave it an 8 last night, just off of a whim. And I think I'm going to stick with that because my overall ratings came out to an 85%. And I was saying, well, no, it's not a 9. It's definitely an 8. Because 9s are reserved for like One Piece and animes that not only just make me go, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next, but animes that don't lead me down literal rabbit holes. And I thought that it was just overwhelming with the amount of ecchi. I mean, and I think, like what you're saying, I think that's one of the reasons why I got so much hate, was because people don't know what ecchi is, or first-time watchers, you know, they see cute girls, or they see, like, a cool title name like Killing Bites, and they're like, oh, this is going to be a really cool action-packed anime. And then they go into it, and they find out that it's basically lesbian porn and, like, a lot of rape.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the gore in the animation.
Well, if I could sum it up in one word, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, like, I was knocked off my seat. Like, my socks were off the entire time.
There were arm... I mean, you talked about it a little bit when you talked about her arm being broken and stuff, but I mean, the amount of limbs that were cut off,
the holes in the
amount of bodies that were severed in half.
Like, oh my god.
The one moment that lives with me forever when Crocodile got literally skull punched in the head. Like, I'm talking like
his
there was a literal hole in his head. Yeah, like, it was brutal. Like, and then Gorilla Guy getting cut in half, literally shred in half. Like, her arm coming off, Tiger's arm coming off. Like, there was a lot of points. The Pangolion, or whatever the hell his thing is. Yeah, the pangolin, his eyeball falling out, and they show his eye literally falling out, and then they show her literally shoving her fist into his throat, the brain matter in the back. It was pretty gory, which I liked a lot, actually. It was a very nice twist. It was like, you get your soft, cool moments with the ecchi and, like, you know, Hitomi and Cheetah Girl doing their thing. And then you get the really, really gory moments where people are getting their brain matters blasted out of the back of their skulls and, you know, stuff like that. So, I think it was overall still really good. I think, like I said, there was probably a lot of first-timers going into it being like, oh, Killing Bites, oh, that's going to be a good anime. And then they get into it and they're like, oh my god, I didn't sign up for furry porn, I'm not into this, oh, this is a bad anime, don't watch this.
That's probably why, is just because I mean, we're both not furries, like, we don't associate with that community, and I think there's, like, so much, like, negative stigmas around that community that I'm pretty sure that's why people stay away from this and give it such a bad rating.
And I think that's going to bring me to my next point that we're going to have to talk about, either on a later podcast or not. Furries versus Animorphs. Are they the same thing, or are they completely different? And what defines an Animorph and what defines a furry?
Sparky, we're at a minute 30. I mean, we're at an hour 30. I'm not talking about this right now. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't say we were talking about this right now, you gabaloo. I said we were doing this either later in the seasons, or we'll do this for another time. Maybe we'll share it for a Q&A.
Maybe when we watch Beastars.
I enjoyed it. No, we're not watching Beastars. I will put a tranquilizer bullet in my head if I have to watch Beastars. But I will say that it was very good. My overall rating is an 8. If we meet in the middle, you gave it a 7, right?
Yeah, I gave it like a 7, mid-7. Bless you.
So then we will meet in the middle, and we will give it a 7.5.
All right, yeah. I can live with that.
So Baka's podcast gives it a 7.5.
On Mal, I'm probably just going to give it a 7. I usually round down from Mal.
I usually round up depending on my overall feelings on it.
If it's like a 7.9, I'm not bringing it down to like a 7. But if it's like a 7.5, I'm bringing it down to a 7.
Yeah, no, I get that. So anyways, do we want to read some of these horrible comments? Because I see some 5s, some 6s, some 1s.
While you bring up your those reviews, I'm going to pull up what the mangaka said about killing bites.
Okay. Because I have the number 1 right here from a Commander Tofin.
Fuck that guy.
Basically, he says it's about a story animal humans fighting each other in a tournament. There are some progressions between the main guy and the main girl. There might be some unintentional spoilers along the way, so please understand the concerns, whatever. Story, he thinks it was lame. The art style is somewhat unique, he said, but I wouldn't suggest watching this anime just because the art had some ecchi scenes if you're also into that, which, I mean, men of culture really are into ecchi.
Yeah, you're not a true man of culture unless you love...
Unless
you've watched at least Ikitaki Saisu.
You're already looking like a loser, Mr. SAO.
Mr. SAO 10 masterpiece.
Character development didn't go above average level, which in my case I would say lacking a lot of it. Had potential in the beginning, but was too focused on BR. Alright, that's kind of like what you said. Enjoyable in the very beginning and had some okay pace here and there, but once it reached the later stages, the pace started going out of control. His overall saying was, I would love to give it higher scores, but the anime did not make it through good enough. Definitely would not recommend watching it. It leaves just a bad taste after. No, not a bittersweet ending, just to make it clear. Here's the comment that I was talking about, which I thought was pretty funny. Whoever has the sharpest claws wins. Not in this case. Chris Concept, overall rating of a 5. The person before that gave it a 1. He gave literally everything 5 and below. So I don't know how he got to a 5, but alright, sir, you do you. So he said, it's another BR, nothing really special, but I do like the whole animal side of it. Having their animal features and their abilities were pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of like what we talked about.
Nothing special here for the art, a couple of good ecchi scenes. Voices were good, tracks were okay, and the track reminded me of the 90s rock music. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird.
You don't have to read the entire thing. Just go over like the basic points.
I know. I'm just going to go out there and beat the shit out of my sisters with a baseball bat in about 5 seconds. Basically, he said that he would not recommend it because it's not pathetic, it's just okay.
I mean, I can kind of see that, but I mean, like, I'll recommend it because I think some of the parts are hilarious. And like, it's a very above average show.
To summarize most of these reviews, though, lots of interesting, because there's a lot of 10s.
Men of culture.
There's a handful of 9s, handful of 8s, some 7s, couple 6s. Only 2, 3. I count 3 on the first page, 3 5s. For 1s, I only saw the one from that Commander Tofin guy. But he doesn't count because he's a Sword Art Online fan. So the overall rating for the show is a 6.65. I think meeting in the middle, calling it a 7, is a pretty good idea for Baka's Watch podcast. Did you find the thing that you wanted to find up, or?
Yeah, so I after I watched it, I looked up to see how the manga was doing, and I think it's still ongoing. Hold on. Yeah, it says it's still ongoing. The last chapter came out in November 7th. So it looks like they're doing a chapter every month. It looks like. But I just wanted to see like how different the manga ended from the anime, which it's actually like 1-for-1. Like it's actually uncanny, like how similar the animation and the manga is. It's like the only extra scenes in the anime were Nomoto appearing in that hybrid city, and then that scary looking chick. But like that dog girl or whatever with like the backpack, like she's in the end of the manga. But the writer, the mangaka of Killing Bites, gave like a little like speech at the end. He's basically said like, at this point, our story Killing Bites will receive a break because we just wanted to ask the following questions. What is Killing Bites? What are hybrids? What are Zaibatsu? Which I have no idea what the fuck Zaibatsu are, even after watching the entire anime. I want to know more about them. And he basically...
Yeah, the Zaibatsu are the 4 guys, right? The 4 clans?
Yeah, the 4 clans. And I won't read the entire thing, but basically the interactions between Hitomi and Nomoto, the main character, that's not the actual story of Killing Bites. That was a first impression of the world. That was like a prologue, basically. So the actual story isn't about Nomoto. The actual story is about the special zone for hybrids that appear 2 years after in like the end credits, whatever.
Okay.
So it's more about, it's going to be about like fighting and stuff like that. And he goes on to say that they want to let our imagination go wild. So like, what's happening to the spectators at Killing Bites? Are there new investors, and like, who's the strongest brew? That's what I think he wants this manga, this series to be about, not about Hitomi and Nomoto. Which is why we're gonna talk about the ending right now, real quick, before we sign off. That ending was such a fucking curveball. Like, I kind of expected it, but at the same time, I kind of didn't. I thought it was gonna end like, oh yeah, Hitomi, oh, she finally has feelings for someone else that's not her fucking dad. But no, she just fucking kills him. Or
yeah, I thought...
Or whatever.
I thought it was interesting. And the reason why I figured that there might be probably a season 2, or because he didn't die.
Yeah,
like, I knew right away he wasn't dead.
Like, they
I knew
him.
she pulled
They teased him
she pulled her literal claw back and decided not to do that. It was pretty obvious because she clearly has feelings for him. He obviously has feelings for her. But like most anime tropes, why would we ever get that fan service? Right. You give us the actual
He even
fan
says,
service.
like, oh, no,
you won't give us the little, like, just the little droplet that we all really, really badly wanted. Yeah. You can't give us that, but you'll give us every other fan service in the book of an ecchi.
He literally says, like, oh, no, these aren't romantic feelings. I just see you as a woman. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
She's also in high school, so I don't understand.
Yeah, but he's also like a freshman in college.
I don't understand. She's like 12, but it's okay.
No, she's like 16. What are you talking about?
She's like 15.
She's 16.
She's not 16. She's 15. They didn't even put it on her fandom page. She's probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, but in Honey Badger years, that's like purposes. 32.
They did that for purposes. But anyways, yeah, so, I mean, the whole ending episode is just a plot twist and a half. I mean, I knew Shido was a bad guy right from the get-go. I knew he was in it for his own gains because, I mean, they let you know right off the bat. Obviously, he's been through some shit because he is not the same person that he was when he first met her.
Oh, yeah, that's clear.
And he is in it for his own personal gain. He slaughters the chairman. He kills the other guy. And then Leo has his way with the chairman's daughter, which is alrighty.
Yeah, they showed that in the manga,
literally.
and I was like, holy fuck.
They show the whole thing in the
No,
manga?
it's pretty much the same as the anime, but like slightly more detailed.
Jesus. Oh my god. But yeah, it was brutal. But yeah, I thought they were gonna literally show the entire scene, and I'm kinda glad they didn't, because that would have just been that would have left a bad taste in my mouth. I hated her, and I
hated her, but
feel bad that she was getting
didn't deserve that.
No, she didn't.
I actually thought it was going to go the other way around. I thought that she was going to start developing feelings for the main character because he won.
Nope, I knew she was going to be like that. She was the power trophy of the anime, and she got what she deserved. She got beaten, and then she didn't deserve the last part. So let me rephrase that. She got what she deserved in game.
And then some.
She didn't get what she deserved. She didn't deserve that.
No, nobody deserves that.
She didn't deserve Leo doing her dirty, but literally. But yeah. So, and then moving on from that, I'm kind of interested to see how they carry out with, Shido being the top now, and like
the bureaucracy.
What this new organization's going to be like.
Yeah, like the way they left it off was they set up an entire new world. Like the ending, like the whole like hybrid zone, like that's a different show if you really think about it. Like like just like the mangaka said, where like it was just like a little first impression of the world between Hitomi and Nomoto. So I haven't actually read further in the manga. I plan on it just because I want to know what happens. I'm not 100% sure that Nomoto survived in the manga. I think they just did that for the anime. But I could be wrong because I haven't actually read past what we saw. I hope I'm wrong because I want to see him come back as a hybrid and then just beat the living shit out of her. And then they have...
Yeah, I think that would be very interesting. Although I don't think he would be able to bring himself to do it.
I mean, did you see like how he looked and how he sounded? Like he was completely... I didn't recognize him at first.
My guy was been through some shit. He is battle born.
Yeah, like I didn't recognize.
Like this obviously is not his first rodeo.
Yeah. So I'm excited to read the manga. I really want to know what happens, especially because of the way that they left it off. But overall, in general, to sum it up, it was a good show. I very much enjoyed it. Definitely add it to your list. I wouldn't go out and watch it right now, especially with family around. But definitely watch it on your own time.
Yeah, maybe 12 in the morning, midnight. You want to watch something, you want to binge it, you can't sleep. You can watch that.
Yeah. With Your Lie in April, we told you to bring the tissues, but with Killing Bites, you're going to want to bring the tissues for another reason.
Correct. And I guess you could say that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Anything else you want to add?
It was great anime. I liked it. I thought it was good. Lots of plot. Lots of action.
There's a lot of
I'm excited for... I might have to dive into the manga, but I'm excited for a second
I'll let you know how it is. Well, that's the second episode of Baka's Watch, where we watched Killing Bites this time. I have no idea what we're going to watch next week. That's up for you to decide. Is it going to be something funny? Is it going to be ecchi? Is it going to make me cry? Again?
Probably not.
Right,
I'm going to stay away from crying. I want to do that at least once a month, but I'll stay away from crying for now.
Right. And then I'm still working on our super duper secret project, which I'm super excited to do. I don't know. I think it's gonna release hopefully sometime in January.
Yeah, it should be mid to late January.
Yeah,
probably
I'm setting a deadline for myself. But in between that, I think we're gonna send out a few little small cheeky videos. Like maybe some top 10 waifus of 2020. Maybe some tier lists. Maybe some hentai. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, This has been Baka's Watch Podcast with your boy Sparky.
And your other boy, Moose. And we're signing off.
Goodbye.
Have a good night. Happy 2021.
Bye-bye. Yes, happy 2021, everybody. Thank God 2020 is over. I hope you guys enjoy your New Year's and make some good resolutions.
And we're done.